to some is very uncomfortable. Because people live in the Golus and they become assimilated with the Ummah Yisroel, and they adapt Goyish hashkafot, Goyish thought process, and they don't begin to be aware of the difference between a Yid and a Goy. The first thing I want you to know is that the birth of the Am Yisroel took place when Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim. Now, most people don't have an appreciation for the concept of what does it mean to be a Yehudi? What does it mean to be part of the Am Yisroel? There are many different ummos. There are Chinese, there are Japanese, there are Kushim, there are Americans, there are Greeks, there are Arabs, and then there are Jews. And basically each nation has unique culture, each nation has unique habits, unique midot. Each one has its own uniqueness. People think Jews have also a uniqueness. It's not true. That's false. When Klal Yisrael was born, it was a reformation of mankind. HaKadosh Baruch Hu introduced to the world a new human being. The difference lay, where was the chiluk between this? Not in the eyes, both have eyes, both have ears. The outside, chitzoni is the ketzura, looks the same. But the difference that defines us, uniqueness as Yehudim, is in our neshama. That means HaKadosh Baruch Hu implanted Klal Yisrael with the Nishmas Elikam Imah. Takes a very long time to look at somebody from the Ummah Sa'ilam and to be masik, to be able to conceptualize that all you're looking at is a me'ain, a dugma, a caricature of a moshel to a yid. It looks like a person, and they are a person, but they're not in the class of what a Yehudi is. Now what happens is, when you live and exist in the Golus, now the first rule was, what was the first nafkamina? So now I have in myself nishmas elikam imah. So what? I have a special soul. What's the nafkamina? The nafkamina is that we have a different mission in this world. Hashem said, I'm taking you out of Mitzrayim leman ta'avdun es ha'elokim ala harazeh, in order you're here in this world to serve Hashem, to be mekabel the Torah. The nafkamina in this world is living by the Torah. The nafkamina for the future is Olam Haba. The Yehudi, because he's a Nishmas Elokim Imal, lives and exists and he's here in this world only as a hachana, as a preparation for the next world. And the guy lives in this world not as a preparation for the next world. It has no shaykhs, it's two different mitzias, two different beings. That was the chiddush of Yetzias Mitzrayim. In the Leidas, every nation has its Yom Holedes. Even Russia, country of Rishayim, has May Day. They have no religion but May Day. May 1st, Narishkeit. But every nation has. And so July 4th, Israel has a nation, the new Israel. The new Israel has a day of independence, wanted to emulate America, so they figured America's in July, they'll make theirs a little earlier. They'll be Makdim, so we get first. But the latest Am Yisroel is in Yetzias Mitzrayim. Not Yom HaAtzmaut, that's not where the latest Am Yisroel is. And the Leid of Am Yisroel is not a nationalistic thing. It's not a Le'umi thing. It's a whole new Mitzvah, it's a whole new Bria. Bereshis, Bora Lekim es Hashemayim es Oretz, Bereshis means Bishvil Yisrael Shenikra Reshis. Bishvil HaTorah Shenikra Reshis. We're here for the Reshis. With that Hakdama, we can now approach the subject. In the Pasuk it says that Hashem told Moshe to tell the Bnei Yisrael that you're going to enter into Eretz Yisrael, and I'm telling you, Kemaisa Eretz Mitzrayim Asher Yishavtem Bo Lo Yisasu. Don't emulate the ways of the Mitzrayim. Ukimaisa Eretz Kenan Asher Ani Maybe Eschem Shama Lo Yisasu. And then Hashem adds, Uvechu Koiseim Lo Yiseleich. Don't follow in the Chukos Ha'am. Now the question is, once it tells you not to emulate the Ma'aseh Mitzrayim or the Ma'aseh of the Eretz Kenan, the Ma'asim, you shouldn't do the Ma'asim. What is it teaching me with this pasuk? What is the tzivui of uvuchu koiseyem lo yiseleich? Comes along Rashi and quotes from the Chazal, and he says as follows: Ma hiniach hakosuf shelo yomar. Once it said, don't follow the Ma'asim Mitzrayim, I said, what's missing? Why? What is the addition over here of Ubechu Kaiseyim Lo Yiseleich? Them Enfritman, the Teretz is, Elo, Elu, these Ma'asim that are not necessarily rishus, Ma'asim that are not necessarily asur, which are what? Minei nimusais shelahem. All the nations in the world, every nation, has their nimusais, what they call their national pastimes, their cultures of what happens. Now, by us, chukais are dinim, are halachot, but by goyim, chukaseim over here does not refer to their halachas. It refers to their nemusas. Dvarim hachakukin lahem, things that they do as a pastime, not with any logic. That's what a chukah is. This is what this country decided we do. This is what we do. This is our pastime. There's no hegyon, no rationale to this, nothing. Kigoy, for example, tarti yo'os, feeders. People come, gather to see. It's not, movie industry is not, they're not beginning in Hollywood. Already in the days of old, Umay Sa'olam always had theater. There was a theatrois and the itstadios. What's itstadios? Stadiums. Those are people, places where people gather to watch people challenge each other, or for other type of entertainment. So Chazal tell us over here that Moshe Rabbeinu tells us, "Ubechukaiseyem lo yiseleich." Now, in America, there are pastimes. What's the American pastime? What's one of the most famous American pastimes? Sports. Baseball, basketball, football, Europe, in Israel, soccer, football. They have their soccer. The common denominator in all these things is that adults get dressed up in pajamas and they take a leather and they fill it with air, or they have balls just with a lot of strings around that make these balls, and all the adults begin chasing with a stick or with a foot. They go mishuga. There's so no hegin into this. They act like little babies, and they're tsoyik, and they get emotional. They kill each other. People kill each other, but it's just smoking. They should make it illegal. No. Another few goyim less in the world. It doesn't make no sense. This is called a chukei sagoyim. People watch the season is starting, baseball. Adults, you watch, who are these people? Lowlifes. The only thing they know how to do is swing a stick at a piece of cloth and hopefully not get hit. So they sit there and people get angry, people curse, people laugh, people scream. They sit there watching for 2-3 hours a game. They come out of the game, they come to their family, they say, or hallelujah, or they're cursing, stupid catcher, stupid manager, stupid guy watching the Shing Empire. I hate the guy, I'm going to kill him. Are you retarded? Are you retarded? This is a simple babyish game. Are you 3 years old? And the answer is, it makes no sense. It's called Nemusais Hagoy. Just like people would enjoy watching an ox and another ox fight, or 2 chickens fighting. You're retarded. It's people that have seichel like chatulim, that have kids like cats. That's how people are. The Torah tells us, Hashem says to Moshe, tell the Yidden, they will makabel the Torah. For a goy wasting time and becoming emotionally involved, Baruch Hashem, we're very happy. At least they don't kill each other. Just the other day, I was in somebody's car and the radio was on. And it said over there, it reported a story that there was some team playing and somebody screamed out at the Schwarze player a racist remark. And the Schwarze became Ugekoch, the baboon became Am Yisroel. How you still call me names? You say to your fellow Schwarzer, hey, nigga. You say that to each other. That's a different sound. That's our schus to say it to each other. But you can't say it to me. And it's a ballgame. So the guy in the radio was saying, you know what kind of bizarreness is? You know what kind of chilul this is? And I'm thinking, chilul? A bizarre? Who do you think these guys are? These guys are the Bria Shvelas. These guys are minuvolim, all day long they curse. There's no nimus by them. They have no shaykhs. They spit, all they know do spit their tobacco out. They grab themselves on public radio. There's nothing good about them. Nothing hush about them. And some guy called the guy a name, and the guy goes, so the guy was explaining what the problem is. It's like this. He said, in America, baseball is our national pastime. Shom, Samakim Kaddish. Over there, it's not appropriate to be mizalzel and to bring out your bad midas. Are you retarded? That's retarded. People want to know what's wrong. There are many Yidden, even from Yidden. There are many B'nai Torah that have been bitten by the bug, and they're sold on the chukos. They wait for the seasons. I can't tell you how many Yungolite have called me over the years when they heard me speak about it, and they said, the way you put it, you make it sound so dirty. I said, it's worse. I'm being nice. I said, it's shameful. It's a b'shaynis. I knew a guy with a beard, a nice guy, a black hat and a beard. I told him, when are you going to grow up? When are you going to finish with your football? He was a football chassid, like, mamish not stuff. He said, who knows? It's my private thing. It's my private vice. He said, a Monday night, I go into my bedroom, I lock my door, I go into the closet, it was a walk-in closet, and I sit on the floor with a radio, maybe a TV, I don't know which one, and I watch. And I say to the guy, you think your kids don't know? He said, absolutely not. I said, okay. I said, would you mind if I made a test? He says, okay, make a test. What do you want to do? I said, this Shabbos, by the Suda, I'm going to tell your wife to ask the children a question. What does Tati like to do most? What's his favorite thing to do? He said, sure. I said, what do you think they're going to say? He said, I think they're going to say Tati likes to go to the yeshiva. He works, but he said, I don't think they're going to say Tati likes to go to work. They're going to say Tati likes to go to the yeshiva. Okay. So they asked the kids, all together, they all said like this, Tati loves football. The guy felt like somebody punched him in the face. I said, what do you think, kids are stupid? Of course he doesn't like football. And then you have a father who likes baseball, and he can't control himself. Now, I want to tell you how sick it is. You know, I can't tell you how many people told me, if I missed a game by night, I didn't stay up to the end. Like the next morning before davening, I have to call somebody to find out, what the score. Ich kann nicht gehen weiter. And one guy told me, if he wakes up in the middle of the night, he calls, or he turns on the radio just to listen what's the given the chadashes, what happened to me. It's b'shaynis. You don't understand this. Somebody who I consider very chashuv, who learned in very chashuv yeshivas. I'm telling you, very chashuv yeshivas. The best of the best. Has a wonderful family. He's in chinuch. He teaches Gemara, mitlamdis. I'm talking about a fighting guy. Came to me once and said, you think I'll ever break this habit? I said, who, you? I said, what habits you have? He said, baseball. I said, you baseball? Nah. He said, yeah, I'm going to tell you. She said, I'm going to tell you the truth. He says, I'm going to tell you that. I said, Pastor, you're in chinuch, you're machane. He said, I know. I said, I want to stop it. Could you help me? He said, sure. I said, you think for $500 you would listen to a baseball game? I said, I don't think so. I said, okay, give me a check of $500. Give me $500. Tell him the next year I'll meet you. You'll come and you'll tell me if you watch him. I'll give you money back. And if you don't ask me for money back, I'll know the answer. I met him a year later, and he says, I earned the money back. I said, Taka, kol hakavod. He said, it's not easy. And I took out my checkbook, I ran a check $500, and I gave it back to him. He takes the check, he looks at it and says, I earned this one. Then he says to me, you know what? Take it back. Take it back. I said, why? He said, I'm not sure I'm ready to give it up. I need another year. And now we're holding in the third year. I spoke to the person a couple nights ago. He said, I'm looking forward to meeting you in a couple of months to get my $500 back this time. I said, Ashrech. But I'll tell you what happens. Most people, they say, what's wrong with that? You know how many bad things people do. That's the better things that I do. I only watch sports. You want me to watch movies? Or you want me to go in the streets and drazach in the streets and do this and that? I told him, no. But I want you to understand that what you're doing is b'chukasem lo yisaleich. That's what I want you to understand. I want you to understand that if you go to a boxing match and you watch two schlubs punching each other's faces out, or you go to they call them WrestleMania because they're maniacs, a chayla nefesh, every one of them is a retard. To get on one of those teams or to get into that game, you have to get certified, smicha, that you're an absolute grotesque, retarded human being. That's the first thing. Dish kemench. And they put you in the string, and you jump around on the strings, and you hope you rip the guy's eyes out. You get a little blood going, and I got a button up, broken nose, guy's beaten to a pulp, and the guy gets back up. You know what I mean? That's an accurate person simcha. You have to know it says, now, the reason why the yeshiva today are nichshel in this is because we're in Golos. And they grew up with this. And it starts early. Today, they train the kids like that. In a lot of cities, they have today in America something called, they used to have when I grew up, Little League. Little League. But now, they want to make it with a Yiddish tam. So it's Yiddle League. Yiddle League. I mean, people have lost their minds totally. It's like you're being mechanech your kid to become a guaranteed shekels. Your kid's never going to be normal. You're not even giving him a chance because you're bringing him up. But this is a pastime. There's nothing wrong with a kid playing. There's nothing wrong with him running around. Now, somebody asked me, is there any downtime in Judaism? So I want you to know, there's no such thing as wasting time because you don't waste your life. There's no such thing as wasting your life. But there is a thing of relaxation in order to rejuvenate and become mechuzik, to get a chilutz atzamos and to start over again. But you have to do it in a way that it's not a hafkah. You're not removing yourself from Yahadus. There's no such a thing as stop the world, I want to now be not Jewish. So when people say, why can't I make, for example, you have these yeshiva guys who decide they're going to make a Jewish video. They'll make latzanas from yeshiva bachur. They make latzanas from yeshiva zachin. They make latzanas from other things. What's wrong with that? People don't say it. It sounds like a nice outlet. They're using it, kosher outlet. But the answer is it's a kosher zak. It becomes Yiddle League. The problem with Yiddle League is that you're making it that Ke'ilu, it's shaykh under the umbrella of Judaism to have Jews in a league of baseball. There's no such thing. Just like you can't have Jewish Chinamen if you don't have eyes that go up. It's not shaykh. If you have Jews from China, you have Jewish Chinamen. You have Jews from America, call them Jewish Chinamen. It's a China, not China. A person has to understand that the greatest challenge you will face in your life, in the Golos, is this challenge. Take Israelis, go to Eretz Yisrael, same thing with soccer, for example. They're crazy about soccer. Mamish, it's chok v'lo the religion over there. Mamish. They don't understand because they didn't get educated. They were robbed of their education. They have no appreciation for the Yahadus. They have no appreciation for Torah. They don't understand what's different between me and the Arab. We're cousins. Now, he lives on the other side of the fence, and I live on the side of the wall. What difference does it make? He's playing soccer on his side, I'm playing soccer on my side. Okay, so he wants to kill me. They'll try to avoid that. But you don't realize the challenge of the Golos is this challenge. And a person has to understand that there is a concept. I remember my Rebbe once told me that there's an Indian of family trips. And I asked him, is there an Indian of family trips? I never heard of Yiddishkeit, family trip. He said, my father said that once I was taking my Rebbe away somewhere. We were going to Meron. He went to the Davin by Rishim Ben Yochai. He says, oh, this is an opportunity for a family trip. Would you mind the family going along? I said, no, I don't mind. I said, what's your Indian of the family? You want the family Davin? No. Family trip. There's a concept of a family going on a trip together. Now, when a family goes to an amusement park and every single guy is running on the rides, that's not a family trip. That's a silly trip. That's each person going his own direction, going on his own rides. That's not a family togetherness. There's family together trips. But it's something that's mechazik, the family bond, something that's mechazik, the family unit. That's what a family trip is. And it enhances your memories, and it gives you more of a stability in life. Your father and your mother and the whole family together did something together. That's wonderful stuff. But a person has to know that the concept of Devarim B'Telim, the concept of living and existing to do nothing, has no mokim in Yahadus. And that's what we have to mechanech our children to. Responsibility of parents is to tell children, you're here for a tafkid, for a glorious tafkid. And if a person is here for a glorious tafkid, he has to learn to appreciate it. He has to wake up. You know why? Because when you come to the next world, then you're going to see the chilik between the Yid and the Goy. And then you're going to see, Hashem's going to ask you, how come you didn't live like a Jew? I went out of my way to create you as a Yid and to make you a Yid. Why weren't you a Yid? Now I'll tell you the first step in divesting yourself from the Golos. The first step you do is you identify every single area in your life that is a result of the Golos. What's the result of the Golos? Know what it is. The guy says, okay, I'm a sports addict. Result of the Golos. And I once had a guy tell me, you know, even Rebbe Chaim Pinchas Scheinberg said that he was 88 years old, that he was, when he heard that New York won this World Series, he was happy. I thought, well, you a SHLITA, that should tell you how bad it is. Chaim Moshe was the masmid nifla who never had any shaykhs sports. When he was a little kid, he had shaykhs sports. He was trying to bring out how powerful that taiva is, that even when he was 88 years old, still made a Rosh Hashanah. And you're learning from that, oh, you see, it's okay to have sports. Sneak a fella. That's what people are. I told the guy, emulate his asmod. That's what you should emulate. That's what you wanted to leave. Even if you wore 100 pair of tzitzis, I'd forgive you. But maybe a little unusual, a little different, and people think you're weird, but it's better than sports, believe me. And that's what a person has to understand. The Noid of Yehuda has a tshuva. Yerucham brings it down. That somebody asked him, and he has forest, he has a big estate. He wants to know if he can go hunting. He wants to know. What's wrong with hunting? So he writes like this. He says, the Shaila, the guy's asking, is any Isur min hadin? So he first questions, is a problem with Tsar Balechayim or Baltashches, and then at the end he concludes, I'm very amazed, very surprised. Al guf hadam, the leimotzinu ish tzayed. We don't find hunting in the Torah, only by Nimrod and by Esav. The ein zed darkei b'nei Avram Yitzchak v'Yankiv. Ulechein, and therefore hashoymei ali, someone who listens to me, yishkoin betach hashkeit v'sha'anon b'veisoi, you should stay at home peacefully, v'lo yovad zmanoi b'dvorim keila. Yeah. Person has to understand that our lives, it's a difficult thing because everything, wherever you turn, everything is entertainment. The Goyim are buying and selling entertainment. Hollywood is not stop, and it's a powerful taiva, even though it's irrational. I once explained to somebody who I was trying to explain why he's such a Meshugana football fan. This person was not Shomer Shabbos. He was a young fellow. He was a very successful attorney. He was a high-powered, up-and-coming American jack. And he told me he spends his time, big football fan. And I explained to him that I'm embarrassed to talk to him. I'm insulted that I ended up speaking with you. He said, why is that? I said, do you own a football team? No. I said, so people who own the team are taking advantage of you. Basically, you're a sucker. I said, you go to the team in the middle of the winter, they sell you peanuts. You understand? They treat you like the animals. Instead of giving you peanuts, they sell you peanuts. They sell you beer. No one wants to drink beer in the middle of the winter, cold beer. They don't give you hot beer, they give you cold beer. They don't sell tea. You're sitting out there, they're selling you junky hats and junky clothes and junky sweaters, and they're selling you, telling you to buy this stuff, telling you to bark and make noise and paint your face and to cry out this and cry out that. It's pushing my mouth. I told the guy, how could you be such an idiot? They sell you hot dogs and they charge you like it's a steak. I told him, what kind of fool are you? Since when do you eat hot dogs? What adults go out for a hot dog? My kids, I used to give hot dogs. When I was a little baby, my mother gave me hot dogs. Adults don't get hot dogs. Adult wants a steak. Maybe a whamu, burger, or something like that. Where they massaged the cow beforehand. That's some such to Kamaila. Not long ago, I went to a place and they were selling a hamburger. It was a special. They had a special. Yeah. I said, what is this? I said, it's a hamburger. I said, hamburger, $36 for a hamburger? What kind of hamburger is it? He said, it's whamu. I said, what is whamu? Is it from animal? From a cow? He said, yeah. This cow that you're getting this burger from was coddled like a baby. It was brought up in the house. They fed it a special diet. They massaged it. They cleaned it every day. They gave it showers. It had air conditioning. It had climate control environment. I was supposed to have to do it with my burger. For that I have to pay $36 for? He said, listen, I didn't make it, I just work here. I said, thank you. So therefore a person has to understand, B'nai Avram, Yitzchak, Yankov have a certain anhaga, and anhaga is treif. And we told you that this from Ramoshe's tshuva, Ramoshe's famous tshuva, it's a very unpopular tshuva. I told somebody Ramoshe has two unpopular tshuvas. One is with timers. Ramoshe's sheet is he can't use timers in Shabbos. Everybody's chelik on him. The other one, no one's chelik on him, but it's not popular. And the second one is that in America, the yesod of life is having a good time. That's the yesod of life. That's the yesod of America. And a good time is treif. Yidden don't live for a good time. For a good time, for the sake of good time, an ending of itself, das nicht. Kadosh Baruch Hu should help us open up our eyes, wake up, and become Yidden, become in touch with ourselves, and be able to appreciate the fact that we are Yidden, Maminim, B'nai Avram, Yitzchak, V'Yankov, Ashreinu, Matev Chalkeinu. יום טוב. באמת אתה עבד את זה? אתה מדי?